Guys, so on this video I'm going to show you how to program in Python. So I'll just do a simple program in Python, and then from there you'll be able to understand now the syntax. Okay, so before we go into the coding, just go down below and click on subscribe so that you see our future videos. So this will be the first on the series of tutorials on Python programming. We also have another series with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and PHP. And you also have another one for video editing using OBS and Windows and Wondershare Filmora. So just go and subscribe so that you see all those videos. Okay, now let's go into Python. So the first thing that you should do is you should download Python and install it on your computer. Okay, so I'll come here and say Python on my browser and then enter, and then you go. Okay, my internet is off. Let me just put my router on. Okay, or let me just go and do the coding, and then I'll show you at the end of the video so how to install Python. So make sure you watch the whole video so that you'll be able to know how to get to Python coding. Okay, so now you, after installing, you go to a window like this, and then you go to file, and then you say new file. I'll just maximize this so that you'll be able to see properly. Okay, so the first thing that we do is, on this program I'm going to enter three numbers and calculate the average of those three numbers. So for me to be able to calculate average, now I need the total of those numbers. So it means now I'll be having two variables: one the total, and two the average. A variable is basically a memory location. I will get into much detail on the future video, so make sure you subscribe so that you'll be able to know everything on Python. Okay, so I'll have two variables, one total and average. So I'll initialize all those values to 0. Okay, so the first one is total. So total is equal to 0, and average, I'll say AVE for shortening, is equal to 0. So every time that you'll be making variables, make sure you use meaningful name so that as you go now, you won't get lost, or you won't forget to say what was this variable standing for, by the way. So you should always use meaningful names on your variables. Okay, now let's go to inputting the values. I'll input three values. So the first one, I'll call it A, the variable A. Okay, A is equal to, okay, I'll put two brackets, and it's int because I'm inputting integers, and then input, and then inside here I'll put quotes and say enter first number, and then semicolon, full colon, and then I'll just put space here. All right, and then from there now I can just copy this whole statement because there's no need for me to keep on writing the same things. Okay, and then I'll just paste here and edit. I'll paste it because we need three numbers. Remember, we need three numbers, like that. And then from here now, this is for B, so I'll put B here, and then this will become second. So second, and then this one will become third. So we only want to enter three numbers. So third, and then here it is my C. Okay, so it means now we are done entering numbers. Enter first number, second number, and third number. Now let's go to calculating the total. So the total, well, let me just leave a space so that you see now the different stations. Oh, here it was initializing, here is inputting, and then now this is calculations. So now I can say total is equal to A plus B plus C. Okay, let me just put spaces. They really don't matter, but it is much smarter for you to just put them. And then now the average AVE is equal to the total that I'm getting here divided by 3, because I've got three numbers. Total divided by 3, like this. And then from there now I input to say print. So can you see that all these keywords now, their color will change to show that these are keywords. So if you type a keyword and then you see that it is not converted into this color, you know that you are using the wrong syntax for that keyword. So you should always check now with the keywords if they are of this color. Okay, so I'm printing out to say okay, so I'm printing out to say print in quotes. So everything that will be in quotes will come out as they are. All the words that will be in quotes. So print the average the average of A, B, and C is average A, V, E, like that. And then from there now I do my changes. So AVE is not a is a variable, so it's not supposed to be in quotes. So my quote, I close my quote here. Well, let me start from here, average of. So my quote, the final quote is here. This is the closing quote. And then here I should put an end as well, so that it will be meaningful. Then another end here. So if you see a letter like this now, this means that this is an error. So you should be knowing that if you see a color like this, it is telling you that there's an error. Okay. So here I want to put quotes here. So a quote, opening quote here and a closing quote. So can you see that the color of is here is changed? And then for end as well, I want my end to come out as they are. So I'll open quotes on the side and close quotes on the other side. Just like with this end, quote on the side and then the other quotes on the other side. Like that. Okay. So let's see now, print the average of A. Okay, there should be commas. Commas here, another comma here, another comma here, another comma here, and then another one, another comma here, another comma here, and then the last one is already there. Okay, so this is total. This was initializing my variable to say total is equal to 0 and average is equal to 0. Here, this is for inputting of values. So this is the syntax for inputting a value. This is for A, for B, and for C. And then this is how to calculate total. So this is addition. So here I'll be saying A plus B plus C. And then for average, it's total divided by 3 and then print the average of A and B and C is that one. So I can put an equal sign. Okay, or let's just leave it like that. So for this to run now, you have to save it first. So I'll say Control S for saving. Then I'll just say 1, 2, 3. Then I'll say save. Okay, I'll just replace whatever that is in there. And then from there, for running, you can just press F5 or you go to run and then you press run module. Okay, and then you should ask now to say enter first number. So I'll put 10 and then enter, and then second number I'll put, let's say 15, and then the third number I will put, let's say 20. So with these numbers now, 10, 15, and 20, if you add them together, they'll give you 45. So it means the average should be 15. So let's see if our program is working. So if I press enter, so can you see here it says the average of 10 and 15 and 20 is 15. So it means our program is working perfectly. Okay, let's just try another numbers. Okay, I'll just cancel this and run again. So if I say F9, F5 for running, let's put another set of numbers. Let's say 100 and let's say 102, and then another number, let's say 200. And then if you say enter, that will be your average. If you say 100 plus 102 plus 200, you get 402. And then if you divide 402 by 3, you should get 134. So this means that our answer is working. So if you see this one now, it says int. So it means every number that you input here has to be an integer. So let's try to put a number that is not an integer and see if you don't get an error. So I'll say F8, and then I'll put for the first one, I'll put an integer, enter like that. And then now I'll try to put a decimal number. So 2.1, and then I press enter. So can you see that it's telling me that there is an error there because I've put a number that is not an integer. So what it means now, it means this should always be an int if you want to put in integers. Okay, let's see now if I use float. Let's say this is float. So float is the one for decimal numbers. Some languages they use real. Let's say float, float, float here as well. Okay, float and then here as well float, and see if we don't get an error. Okay, so we save, Control S for save, and then F5 to run. So the first number, so with float now it works with both whole numbers and decimal numbers. So I'll try 2.3, enter. So can you see that it is accepted that number? And also in a whole number 9, enter, it still says okay. And then if I try to enter a letter, let's say another decimal number, 46.5, and then average will be that one. So it means our code is properly working. So the difference now is when you want to deal with integers, you put int here where it says float, and then when you want to put integer values, you say integer values. So this is another type of validating your inputs. Okay, so that's where they make me mistake. If you want to enter only integer values, you just put int. If you want to enter only decimal numbers, so with decimal numbers now it will accommodate both decimals and integers. So this is how to do a simple program to enter to enter certain numbers, and then from there you calculate the average. Okay, so don't forget to subscribe so that you'll be able to see our future videos. Okay, so now let's go back to our browser and see how we can actually get our platform to do the programming. Okay, so like I've said, you go to python.org and then you get a page like this, and then you go to downloads. If you're using Windows, you just go here where it says Python 3.8.2, and then if you click, it will download, and then from there you just install, and then after that now you'll be able to get your platform. Then from there you just do the steps that we've done for your first program. Okay, so don't forget to subscribe so that you see the future videos on Python programming and also on other programming languages that we also do tutorials on this platform. So bye for now, and don't forget to subscribe. Have a nice day.